Good morning, everyone. It is the Bloomburrow release weekend, and you know what that means? More secret layer previews. No, we're not talking about that today. Today, we are talking about Bloomburrow, the EV for play boosters and collector boosters, what all is in both of those, and if it's worth it to buy it or not. Let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start this video off with going through what all is in a play booster. Then we're going to move on to the EV for a play booster box. After that, we're going to be doing the collector boosters and then collector booster box. And then finally, we're going to wrap it with some cost to EV tables so you can kind of gauge what the return is on your money based on a couple factors. So first up, we've got play boosters, and these have changed a little bit. We've actually had the list removed entirely starting with Bloomburrow. So that means that no set moving forward is going to have the list card anymore. This means the ones that have the little Planeswalker symbol that were kind of old reprints that could be anything from garbage to awesome needed reprints. No more. All we're going to be getting is the special guest treatments, and that's typically like 10 cards. So that's it. And that special guest card is going to be in 1.5% of booster packs. So kicking it off, we have 7 commons. This is where that special guest will appear if it does appear in one of these slots. After that, we've got 3 uncommons. Next, we have the wild card slot. This can be a card of any rarity, and it includes the booster fund, so that's the showcase, the field notes, board list, that kind of stuff. After that, we have our rare or mythic slot. This is the guaranteed rare slot, and I don't believe any booster fund can show up here. This is just a bog standard rare mythic. Then we have the traditional foil wild card. This is guaranteed to be foil and can include the booster fund. And then finally, we've got a full art seasonal basic land. This is just a basic land. There are some percentages for what season the basic land is, but it's still just a basic land. Okay, let's talk some rares and mythics. Starting off with the rares, we've got a minimum value of 11 cents. We've got a max of $24. The average is $1.50, but the median's around 60 cents. What this means is that we're more likely to see a lower value rare rather than a higher value rare. It's just kind of skewed towards the lower end of things. For the mythics, we have a minimum of $2, a max of 15. The average and the median for the mythics is pretty close together, so we can probably expect it to be around that $5 to $6 range if we do indeed pull a mythic. So what does this amount to in terms of a play booster EV? So once we do all the math, we get an EV about $177, which seems all right versus a booster box price of $146. Now, I do expect this to fall, and it gets a little more dicey if you're just looking at rares and mythics. If we just look at the EV for rares and mythics, we get an EV about $116, which is about $30 below the cost of the box currently. If you do expect this to fall with release pricing, I think this is probably something that we stay away from. It's tough to get behind this box from a financial standpoint. There's no bonus sheet. None of the rares seem to be holding up super great. There's no rare land cycle in this set that's really enticing. So I'm not really excited about cracking packs with this just for value. I will say, if you're trying to play limited, it's a super fun limited. I think this play booster box is definitely just more for playing limited and having a good time. And if you really like the cute critters, then, go for it, go nuts. I'm not stopping you. I'm not your mom. But if you're just trying to get the best bang for your buck, I would definitely say if you want to crack packs, try and play with the packs. Don't just open them. So let's move on to collector boosters. See if this is doing any better. Most of these are foil. There are a couple non-foil slots, but yeah, let's go through it. So we kick off the pack with 5 commons, then 4 uncommons. After that, we've got that full art basic everyone loves to be opening up. These are pretty nice, though. I do like the look of these, so I don't mind it too much. After that, we've got the standard rare mythic slot here. After that, we've got the commander slot. This could be one of the face commanders from the commander product. This could be an extended art. Could be a lot of stuff from the Bloomburrow commander set. After that, we've got 2 non-foil borderless cards. This is most likely going to be that woodland showcase, but it could be a borderless, it could be an extended art here. And then finally, we wrap it up with the borderless extended art. The special guest can also show up here in foil. It only shows up in non-foil in the play booster, but here it can be a foil. And then we've got the potential shot at the raised foil anime, which is kind of this set's take on the hyper collectible thing that's usually either like a serialized or something else. This one's going to be that raised foil anime treatment for a select few cards. So what's the EV of collector boxes looking like? Well, I think it's doing a little better than the play boosters. We've got, after doing all the math for all these, at least they gave us most of the breakdowns for this. We get an EV about $300, and the cost for a box is $243. So we're about $60 up here in terms of EV. Obviously, this is going to come down, as does everything when it comes to Magic once the release window hits. Still not super pumped about this. My rule of thumb is to expect like a 30% loss for standard stuff. Seeing the difference here when not even looking at just the rares and the mythics at 25% means that this probably won't do super great, and I'm not really looking forward to opening packs of this. Caveat, I never open up collector boosters. I'm not a huge collector when it comes to that stuff. That's a product for another person. So let's look at just the rares and the mythics for this. We've got an EV of 274, which is super close to that 243 cost, only about 12-13% off. Financially, I don't think this is super great to open from that standpoint. That doesn't mean that you can't. That doesn't mean you're not going to have fun opening the stuff. I think the art is amazing. I love the set. I think it plays really well. So if that's enough for you to enjoy opening some packs, you know, that's great. So finally, I'm going to throw these up on the screen. These are some like cost to EV things you can do to make your own informed decisions. This is a tool for you to use so you can estimate kind of where you think EV is going to lie and you know, evaluate your risk. So you can kind of figure out where you lie on pricing. You know, maybe you got a sweet deal on it, or maybe you're getting gouged by your LGS. This way you can kind of check what your entry point's going to be. And then, you know, if you think, like, I typically will set this to a 30% EV loss come release. So I'll look at the 30% column, and if I'm still in the green, I feel good about it. If I'm in the red, I may still buy it just if I really like the set and I'm a glutton for punishment. But you can kind of figure out your own risk and what you think is going to happen to the EV and judge accordingly. So that's Bloomburrow. Not super strong financially, not having a bonus sheet, having the list rares removed. That stuff kind of suppressed the play booster EV quite a lot, but still a really fun set, super fun to play limited. Definitely recommend doing that if that's how you want to engage with the product. We'll do a check-in with this to see how it's doing down the road. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these numbers hold and the set does really great, and that'll be awesome because it's super cute and I love it. I hope this will help you in making your decision in how or what you want to buy from Bloomburrow, if it's just signals, if you're going to buy a box. But please let me know in the comments what you decide to do or buy from Bloomburrow. Let me know if you get some sick pulls and all that stuff. Please leave a like and subscribe. It helps out a ton, and I'll see you in the next one.